Saturday morning, NAMM 2015. Hey, this is Rich Osweiler coming to you for PremierGuitar.com. I'm here with James Brown, the man behind Amptweaker. How's it going, James?
We're doing real well. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. We're going to talk about a couple new pedals today, the FatMetal and the BluesFuzz. Why don't we go ahead and start with the FatMetal, tell us what it's about, and we're going to listen to it as well.
Okay, the FatMetal is one of our consumer requested things. Every time we do a new pedal, a bunch of people come in and tell us what they wish we would have done, and that's kind of our business plan, is to make sure that we're keeping up with what the crowd's wanting. So the Type Metal is our #1 selling pedal for several years, but a lot of people who aren't necessarily looking for the palm muted articulation that it gives you, and some people have brighter rigs and don't like the sizzle that it has. And some people will call it bees if they don't really like it. Also, it's set up very, very tight, and the low end is very chunky. So I had a lot of requests from other types of metal guys who were wanting something that was fatter, a little bit thicker on the attack, and not quite as edgy, but still had some of the more buzzier kind of distortion that you get when you have a lot of low end going through the distortion. So what I did is I took the Type Metal and I increased the gain with this, what I call black gain switch, to try to go for a heavier, thicker gain boost. And then I shifted the tight control so it goes down another octave further than normal, to help with some of the guys who get the more doom, sludge, kind of deeper, darker attack. And then the noise gate is tweaked so that it's not quite as precise. It's a little bit sloppier so that the notes can decay better. Not quite as hard of a gate like the Type Metal has. And then I also tweaked the thrash switch so that it's not as deep of a cut. It's less of that 80s kind of metal thrash and a little bit more of a modern amount of mid-range cut. Plus it adds some sizzle, so if you want to get like a black metal tone, you can kick that on with the black switch, turn the tight up a little bit, and you've got the black metal guys sound.
Cool. Well, let's take it for a spin.
Okay, I'll just kind of go through the sounds of it a little bit here, and then after I do that, I'm going to show you a comparison between it and the Type Metal.
Okay.
So here it is with the just kind of like basic. So that's kind of like a straight up setting. Here I'm going to turn the gain up, and I'm going to turn the noise gate on so you can hear that. And then the tight, if you turn it down, you're going to get more of a little bit more of that sloppier attack, so the buzz rides between the notes. And I'm kind of palm muting it so you can hear the difference good. You turn it up, so now you have the more chunk to it, and that way you can really dial between those two different kind of genres of music. And then here's the thrash switch. That's without it. Here's with it. So it's a little bit more of a scoop sound, but not dramatic, you know. So you can get a little bit more of an amp tone out of it that way. And I'm just going to set both of them kind of the same volume. We also have the sidetrack loop on here. You know, all of our pedals have loops on the back that work when the pedal's on, so you can throw a delay or something in there. This pedal also has our sidetrack loop, which comes on when the pedal's off. So you can put a clean effect in there or something and just leave it on, and you control both with this one switch, like that. In this case, I'm using it so that I can use this for like a solo pedal and the Type Metal for a rhythm tone. Just leave it on all the time, and it's not working right now. So when I hit the switch, so now I got the Type Metal sound. When I hit this, you're gonna get. And then here's with the Type Metal. So you're looking at a little bit chunkier. It obviously has more sizzle. and the bottom end kind of punches more and not quite as fat as this sounds, you know, especially for when you're doing like a lot of the tremolo picking kind of stuff, like that kind of stuff. With this, it works a little better.
For sure.
It's just made for that kind of sound, you know, a little bit darker. And then if you want it to cut through a little more, you can always do this, you know. So you've got a little bit more of a sizzle on there. Yeah, we introduced this back in October. We did 49 pieces, limited edition. My wife Phyllis and I both grew up on Highway 49 south of Jackson, Mississippi, and that's where, you know, north of Jackson is where the devil deal went down with Robert Johnson on Highway 49. So we thought it would be kind of fun to do a little bluesier version. I had a bunch of low output germanium transistors that I needed to use up, and I happened to have 49 of them. So I decided, you know what, I'll take this and do a little special, fun, limited edition pedal for the blues guys. The cool thing about it is it has a germanium. It's a germanium transistor. I don't know if I mentioned that, and it's got the same circuitry as the original Tight Fuzz, but I've added a boost switch that's down inside the battery door, so you can get more gain if you want a little bit heavier sound. But just to kind of start with, here's like the most fuzz you can get out of it. You got to turn it on first. So
Let's do that.
That's the key to the sound of these pedals, is that red light. So you can see it's kind of a lower gain, kind of a germanium. Now I'm going to start turning the gain down, and that's when it gets fun, because you can get all kind of cool, clean sounds. That's fully up. Check it. Keep on going. So you can get down into where you've got just barely any distortion at all. So when you really hit it, it kind of barks like that. And then if you turn this boost on, it's inside the battery door here. Pull that out, and there's a boost switch, and I'll show you how much more fuzz you can get out of it.
How much boost are you getting with the switch flip?
About 10 dB. So, you know, you're back up into kind of in the silicon range, but it still has that smoother top end that you get from a germanium.
Well, there we go. Cool stuff as always from Amptweaker. Thanks, James. And where can folks go to find out more about what we just saw here and everything else you got in your line?
You go to amptweaker.com, and we sell the pedals direct, and we also have a dealer network worldwide. The BluesFuzz, actually, we've already sold them all to dealers, so you have to go check with one of the authorized dealers to find those. The FatMetals we also still sell online. So.
And those are available now?
Yes, they're shipping. We've been shipping them for about 2 weeks.
Well, James, thanks for your time. This is Rich Osweiler for PremierGuitar.com from the 2015 NAMM show. Lots more to come. Later.